Ms. Dean.
Thank you, Chairman Rogers. Thank you, Ranking Member Meng. Thank you, Ranking Member DeLauro. And thank you to you, Secretary Lutnick. Thanks for being here today. I want to pick up on what Mr. Morelli was talking about, and I'll use the word stability. And I think you know this from your many years in business. And that's what I thought about as I was preparing for today. The importance of stability, or as he said, predictability. Stability is the foundation of economic growth. I think you've lived it. Businesses need clear and predictable rules to plan and to invest for the future. Given this administration's claim of being pro-business and pro-growth, I am so baffled by the discussions around trade deficits and the president's belief around trade deficits and the president's beliefs around tariffs and the chaotic tariff policy. They're on, they're off. Many of the tariffs are punishing, creating a level of instability and uncertainty in our economy that we haven't seen since COVID. I hear the same thing over and over from constituents, from small businesses, from bankers in my area. They can't figure out how to plan, how to lend. Businesses can't figure out how to expand, how to grow, whether to hire, whether to not hire. And I'd heard just literally this morning from a very large American retailer. First word out of the woman's mouth was uncertainty, and the last thing she said to me was uncertainty, all surrounding tariffs. The lack of predictability. I also serve on the Foreign Affairs Committee, was recently in UK and Denmark, met with the American Chamber in both countries. Confused, uncertain, they can't figure it out. What in God's name is going on? We cannot plan to grow businesses. We cannot plan to grow growth and jobs. So I am baffled, absolutely baffled, by this administration's talk around trade deficits and tariffs. I fear the administration lacks a basic understanding of what a trade deficit is. I think many economists take issue with equating a country's trade deficit with any one country and its economic well-being. Some economists actually view a trade deficit as a sign of a country's economic health because it means we're purchasing more. For me, I have a pretty large trade deficit with my local grocer or my hairdresser. It's a good thing. It means I have money enough to get my hair done once in a while and to keep food on the table. It tells nothing about my overall financial position. Do you know when this country actually had a trade surplus, Secretary?
Welcome back to the Constitution Corner, where we cut through the noise and speak truth to power with facts, logic, and a whole lot of patriotism. If you love this country, believe in the Constitution, and want government out of your wallet and off your back, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a single upload.
We've had trade surpluses. The president likes to speak about before.
No, historically. When did we have a trade surplus? I'm not talking about the president. Historically.
I think early, about 100 years ago.
It was the Great Depression. It was a sign of what was going on. It was during the Great Depression. That's a direction none of us wants to go. Tariffs. It's 90 days. We're going to have 90 deals in 90 days. Then there's a 90-day pause. Many of these tariffs, as they say, punishing. Tariffs on things that make no sense whatsoever. Where are we going to go with the remaining deals? I know of one deal that has been apparently resolved with the United Kingdom. We got 89 more deals to do in just a few more days. Where are we on those deals?
We are in the midst of negotiations with dozens and dozens of countries. We could sign deals, but they're only going to get better as we negotiate them.
That's just simply not true. Because as I told you, the American...
Actually, I promise you it's true because I'm doing it. So I promise you it is true, and I'm here testifying in front of you, and I promise you it's true.
And Mr. Trump promised to bring down the cost of goods day one. And what he has done through his trade deficit fixation and his tariff chaos has nakedly increased the cost of goods. The estimates are that for consumers in my area, suburban Philadelphia, $2,000 at least a year increases on goods. I'll give you an example of one. Bananas. What's the tariff on bananas? Americans, by the way, love bananas. We buy billions of them a year. I love bananas. What's the tariff on bananas?
The tariff on bananas would be representative of the countries that produce them.
And what's that tariff?
Generally 10%.
Correct, 10%. Walmart has already increased the cost of bananas by 8%.
But as countries do deals with us, that will go to zero. As countries do deals with us, that will go to zero.
But the cost is on the American consumer now and on the businesses with the confusion now. Mr. Secretary, I believe you know better. I believe you recognize that a trade deficit is not something to fear. I believe you know that predictability, stability is essential for businesses. I wish you would show that truth to this administration. And I yield back.
Time of the gentlelady has expired.
Would you mind, Mr. Chairman, if I make one quick comment to the end? Would that be okay?
I'm sorry?
Would you mind if I make one quick comment to the representative?
Sure. Please.
There's no uncertainty if you build in America and you produce your product in America, there will be no tariff.
We can't produce bananas in America.
Building in America and paying no tariff is very, very clear.
We cannot
Fighting
build
for imports
bananas in America.
Time of the gentlelady has expired.
Now, today we're reacting to a hearing exchange that shows exactly how far removed some of our so-called representatives have become from reality, free market principles, and the American people. Representative Dean went on a dramatic tirade attacking tariffs, downplaying trade deficits, and mocking the America First trade policies that are finally giving our country some leverage again. Let me be real with you. This woman actually stood there and said she was baffled by this administration's views on trade. She's confused by tariffs. She said uncertainty is the real problem, not China cheating our workers, not foreign governments dumping goods, not our own dependency on global supply chains. No, to her, the issue is that American companies don't know how to plan. Give me a break. And she has the audacity to say trade deficits don't matter. That buying more than we sell is a sign of strength? That's like saying you're financially healthy because your credit card is maxed out, but you're still eating out every night. Lady, that's not economic strength, that's national suicide. She brought up bananas. That's right. Of all things, she ranted about a 10% tariff on bananas, as if that's the great injustice of our time. Meanwhile, we've got steelworkers laid off, farmers struggling, and a flood of cheap, government-subsidized junk from China killing our manufacturing base. But sure, let's cry about the cost of bananas at Walmart. That's what the DC swamp thinks is important. What the left doesn't understand, or refuses to admit, is that tariffs aren't chaos. They're a tool. They're leverage. They're what you use when your so-called allies and adversaries are playing dirty, and you're finally ready to stand up for your own citizens. Secretary Lutnick, to his credit, gave her the most honest answer in the room. If you build it in America, you don't pay a tariff. It's that simple. Build here. Hire here. Manufacture here. And you don't get hit with trade penalties. That's what America First looks like, and that's exactly what the globalists hate. They want endless trade deals with no accountability, no leverage, and no protection for the American worker. They want to outsource your job, import your products, and then gaslight you by pretending it's all pro-business. What they really mean is pro-China, pro-corporate, and pro-globalist. Here's the truth they don't want you to hear. President Trump, in his first term, fought back against the rigged global trade system. He used tariffs as a negotiation tool, and it worked. He forced countries to the table. He brought back supply chains. And yes, it was messy, but that's what fighting back looks like when you're up against decades of bipartisan surrender. Now we've got people like Representative Dean whining about uncertainty. Of course it's uncertain. We're changing course from the suicidal policies that gutted our middle class for 30 years. You don't fix that with a snap of the fingers or a slick press release. You fix it with strength, resolve, and a willingness to take heat, something this administration doesn't seem to have much of. And let's not forget what a trade deficit really means. It means more money leaving the country than coming in. It means we're buying more than we're producing. That's not economic vitality, that's economic dependency. And if COVID taught us anything, it's that we can't afford to depend on foreign countries for critical goods. So yes, tariffs are necessary. Trade deficits do matter. And no, we don't need more deals with Europe. We need real trade policy that prioritizes American workers, American businesses, and American sovereignty. I'll leave you with this. If you're more concerned about the cost of bananas than the loss of American industry, you don't belong in Congress. You belong in a Whole Foods produce aisle. Folks, if you appreciate truth, clarity, and unapologetic patriotism, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to The Constitution Corner, and share this with every freedom-loving American you know. We're here to hold the swamp accountable, one clip at a time. We are the Constitution Corner, where Americans' root guides its future. Until next time, stand strong, speak truth, and may God bless the United States of America.